But first, hello, I'm John Bachman on Capitol Hill today. The vote was a lot closer than expected, kind of, but John Boehner has won a third term now as the Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives. Boehner's opposition had been growing steadily throughout the day. 23 members of his caucus voted for someone else to become the Speaker. Most of them are members of the staunch conservative wing of the GOP. They often disagree with Boehner, but that was not nearly enough to unseat the Ohio Republican. Now Boehner says Congress is ready to get to work.
And we'll begin our work on this common ground, taking up measures to develop North American energy, restore the hours of middle-class workers, and help small businesses hire more of our veterans.
Well, Boehner says first up for votes, Obamacare and the Keystone XL pipeline, but the White House saying today that President Obama will not approve the Keystone pipeline if it passes a vote as is expected to in the House and the Senate. In New York, police are questioning two men now being held in connection with the latest attack on police officers in that city. Those two men were taken into custody after investigators released this surveillance video, which they say shows one of the suspects in the shooting. The wounded officers were responding to a robbery call in the Bronx when they confronted those suspects. Both were shot. They are in stable condition and expected to survive. This attack comes just one day after NYPD officer Wei-Jin Liu was laid to rest after he and his partner were ambushed and gunned down, killed in Brooklyn. Down the street, President Obama hosts Mexican President Enrique Peña Nieto at the White House today. The president looking for support with his immigration reforms and his new plans for renewed relations with Cuba. But Mexico's president is also facing some issues back home, including questions about dozens of students missing and thought killed, also his $1 million mansion. Outside the White House, it's a bit of a winter wonderland today with snow falling in Washington and much of the Northeast. The storm has been bringing bitter cold to a good chunk of the country. You see the purple cold temps there. It'll be expected to stick around for a few days. Jeb Bush, meantime, is launching a new leadership PAC called Right to Rise,
which is a PAC to support candidates that believe in conservative principles to allow all Americans to rise up.
Well, the former Florida governor already has announced that he's seriously considering a run for the White House in 2016. He's also recently stepped down from various corporate boards and nonprofit organizations. Former Virginia Governor Bob McDonnell has been in a federal courtroom today, expected to be sentenced soon on 11 counts of public corruption. McDonnell outside the courthouse today arriving. Prosecutors wanted to put him behind bars for at least a decade, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. A judge is expected to hand down that final sentence sometime later today. And a World War II veteran quiets protesters who barge into his award ceremony.
I can't breathe!
Navy vet Dario Ruscio was trying to collect his service awards, but protesters from those hands up, don't shoot protests kept protesting. He eventually quieted them down, so he was able to receive his award, but the protests picked back up. Another update coming up for you in 30 minutes.